Ayo, it's DNA. Y'all now tuned in to rapgrid.com behind the battles. My next battle, Summer Madness 1, DNA versus X Factor. You know what I mean? I wasn't going to take this battle at first, but URL, they kept asking me to take it, and you know what I mean? I was about to miss out on Summer Madness because honestly, I didn't know how big it was going to be at the time. You know what I mean? Nobody did because it was the first event they did. So I was happy I took it at the end of the day with the outcome. Me and X Factor, you know what I mean? Me and X Factor was the first battle that night that went down. It was crazy. The reason why I really took X Factor is because X Factor was on a run of choking in multiple battles. So a lot of people really wasn't respecting him, and he had battled all the way back in the early Smack days against Nemesis. So it was really like one of those battles where before he battled Surf, not too many people was checking for him, but he did so well against Sue Surf that it was like, you know what I mean, he caught his second win, a breath of fresh air. So everybody's like, oh, X Factor's crazy. Everybody had me losing 3-0. You know what I mean? Like, that's like the story of my career. Every battle, I'm the underdog. It's funny because the 2 times I was like the favorite in the battle, it's like, you know what I mean, either a loss that I took or it was real debatable. So I'm always good with being the underdog. So I was the underdog against X Factor because of what he did against Surf, and because my last battle was against Ill. So I remember when we got there and we saw 1,000 people, I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, you know what I mean? We never battled in front of that many people ever. So I'm wild nervous. Then on top of it, URL left the mics home or some shit, and niggas couldn't rhyme on the lavalier, so we had the whole mics. I'm like, yo, what? This shit is like all going wrong for the first time rhyming in front of 1,000 people. And me and X Factor is the first battle, so it's like we're the test dummies. Like, if this shit all goes wrong, we're gonna be the first ones to find out. So I'm like, oh man. So luckily, you know what I mean, shit went well in that battle. But the only thing I say I would change is that if I got an opportunity to change that battle, I would have went first. Because in the first round, it was a trend that everybody tried to start after the Young Ill battle. Since Young Ill predicted what I was going to do because he got word on it, X Factor tried to do the same thing in his first round. Like, oh, DNA's going to talk about this, he's going to talk about this, he's going to talk about this. And then me, it's like at this time I still wasn't comfortable on URL. Instead of me taking out what he was going to say or freestyling about it, I just left it because you know what I mean, I just wanted to get my rhyme out and try not to mess up, and I had it all structured. So what he said that I was going to do, I didn't do in the first round. So that's why I really didn't hit in the first round. So a lot of people gave me the first round. In the second round, I did start doing what he said. So that's why people kind of was like, I don't know, I'm going to give DNA that round. And then the third round, he broke down this shit called priorities, which was, I mean, again, one of the illest rounds somebody spit to me, because, you know, everybody really would try to come at me with my tooth, like joking, like, oh, your gap is this, or you could do this. He really tried to say, like, yo, you young, how could a label market you if you don't got a tooth? You know what I mean? Instead of buying Jordans, why don't you get your tooth fixed? So it was an ill thing, you know what I mean? And it was something that I wasn't prepared for because you know what I mean, nobody ever approached me like that. Now at the time when he was saying it, this is something I should have did. I never spoke about this either. I had a rebuttal. I had a whole rebuttal telling him about his priorities, about how you gonna tell me about priorities and you choking, Calico's over you, Miles was over you. I had this whole shit coming back at him, and I should have spit it. I probably would have won the round simply that I was rebuttaling it right then and there, but I was just so like, yo, this crowd is so crucial. They was booing X Factor at the end of the second. I'm like, yo, if this freestyle shit don't go right, they might boo me. So I really just stuck to the script and finished my round. So, you know what I mean, those was one of those debatable battles. Some people say X Factor won, some people say I won, but you know what I mean, it was one of the best battles at Summer Madness 1, even with the mic. So, you know what I mean, it turned out to be a good look at the end of the day.
I told them at Fight Club, I don't want to battle Jin, and I don't want to battle that Too Much kid from England. And I wound up having to battle both of these niggas the same night.
Not just I seen him when he battled Jonah, and he did Jonah. That shit was dead on. Like, he's talented for that.